A new threat from those tonight, there's a new threat from those devastating and deadly wildfires. About 9 million people across much of Los Angeles and Ventura counties under a new red flag warning and on alert for more dangerous fire weather conditions. The emergency is not over. This fire-nado captured on camera in the Pacific Palisades. Evacuations expanding tonight. Thousands of homes and businesses destroyed, at least 11 people killed. Governor Gavin Newsom doubling the number of National Guard to more than 1,600 to help battle the flames. The ground and air assault continue as the fires are now threatening a growing list of neighborhoods, including the exclusive Los Angeles suburb of Brentwood. And the finger-pointing and controversy tonight over what, if anything, could have been done to prevent the wildfires from causing so much death and destruction. We have team coverage tonight in the fire zone. ABC's Matt Rivers leads us off from Brentwood.
Tonight, with fires still raging in Los Angeles, evacuations are expanding. The Brentwood and Encino neighborhoods under threat as residents make their way out of the area.
It's very difficult, but we're alive. We're alive.
Fire retardant drops starting.
In the skies above the wildfires, firefighting aircraft diving again and again, dropping flame-retardant chemicals and water to stem the fire threat. Those Santa Ana winds temporarily subsiding today, giving them and the thousands of crew battling the flames on the ground a fighting chance.
We were sitting here, they probably did 50 drops between this whole line here. So,
and that's the difference between the first days of these fires, where the winds were so high you didn't have that kind of air support that you would normally.
Yeah, and then amount of resources here as well.
But even as first responders are making gains, the Palisades fire, starting on day one of all this, now expanding in other directions. Some homes here already burning. Those active flames we've been watching since the first day of this fire, now here in Brentwood. So you can see with these wind gusts, those flames trying to force their way up from the bottom of the canyon. And as they do so, they're getting closer and closer to this house here. This is somebody's patio that we're on. And you can see the firefighters doing their best to make sure the flames don't get this high. Without these firefighters here right now, the house here, other houses in this neighborhood, almost certainly gone. Residents here have largely gone, others trying to bring desperately needed supplies to first responders in the area. Traffic on some roads there backed up for nearly 2 hours. The Eaton fire today now at 15% containment, the Palisades fire at 11%. Over 12,000 structures have been destroyed in total. Fire officials warning those strong winds that helped create the most destructive fire event in California's history are expected to ramp back up once again tonight and into next week. Overnight, this flare-up overwhelming a crew on the ground. Firefighters on the front lines forced to retreat from the flames, leaving these vehicles behind. That flare-up spawning this fire-nado. And this harrowing video from earlier this week, a reminder of the hellish conditions endured by ground crews. This man, Alec Gellis, doing everything he could, fighting to save his girlfriend's house from the oncoming flames, eventually forced to leave, unable to save her home.
It's being eaten up by all of that valuable fire retardant. Without that fire retardant, we would be in big trouble.
Firefighters here, though, making progress on getting these fires under control. 11 deaths have been confirmed, 8 from the Eaton fire and 3 from Palisades. And tonight, at least 13 people are missing. ABC News Today learning the identity of 2 of the victims of the Eaton fire. Father and son, Anthony and Justin Mitchell of Altadena. Both were in wheelchairs and awaiting evacuation. his daughter remembering him as, quote, a great dad that any little girl could want. Tonight, the full scope of the loss of life still unclear. Law enforcement also facing challenges, arresting 27 people in total, saying some violated a curfew implemented last night, others taken into custody on suspicion of looting. Officials also warning business owners from taking part in price gouging.
People who have been victimized, being victimized again in contravention and in violation of the law against price gouging in California in the time of a natural disaster in a state of emergency. It's wrong.
Today, California Governor Gavin Newsom doubling the amount of National Guard deployed in Los Angeles. Law enforcement today says they are now able to begin rescue and recovery efforts, using grid searches and cadaver dogs to try and locate the missing.
We hope to find everybody safe. We want to bring closure to the family.
Today, the city announcing that the ATF would lead a task force to investigate the cause of the Palisades fire. Pressed about what could have started the Eaton fire, officials say the investigation is fluid.
We are not going to leave any rock unturned if this is a criminal act.
Still so many questions about what caused these fires. Matt Rivers joining us now from Brentwood. And Matt, how long have some of these firefighters been out there, and what are they most worried about in the coming days?
Yeah, there's really not much rest to be had out here. I had a conversation with a firefighter earlier today who told me he's been out here for 2 straight days. But I think every firefighter you talk to a man, to a woman back there fighting these fires, they'll say this is what they do, this is what they train for, they wouldn't be anywhere else. But their jobs will get harder over the next few days. Almost assuredly, these winds that are picking up in speed as we speak, only gonna get worse.
Matt Rivers for us, thank you.
Catastrophe in California. A Los Angeles disaster movie roars to life.
Whoa! This was like an 80-mile-an-hour blowtorch.
I came out and I saw a fireball.
Do you know what you're gonna do now?
How do I get to my house?
Tonight, homes in ashes.
Oh, God, it's gone.
I hadn't cried until I got here.
Lives in chaos.
My parents tried to get me out of here, but I couldn't leave.
I can't go, bro. 51 years, man, I've been in this house.
Heroes in action.
You haven't slept.
Not really. You got control on one, and then the winds pick up.
The flames are still burning, and questions are burning too.
How is there no water in the hydrants, Governor? Is it going to be different next time?
It has to be.
What lies ahead?
How do you come back from something like this? They come back one day at a time.
LA's landscape changed forever. Its strength still stands.
We are resilient. We'll find a way.
We will rebuild, and we will rebuild together.
Now, the very latest from the front lines. Fire and ash. Devastation in LA. Good evening, I'm Lester Holt. Everywhere you look in fire-ravaged LA, scenes of apocalyptic destruction, as 6 different wildfires turn some of the most iconic neighborhoods in the world into moonscapes. Here's where things stand this evening. At least 11 people are dead. More than 150,000 are under evacuation orders. And some 10,000 buildings and